presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And it's a beautiful night here in the Gateway City. Game number 2 of the doubleheader. The Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. If you missed it in Game 1, Lance Lynn picked up the victory. 5 scoreless innings along the way. He struck out 8. The offense, Jose Martinez. Solo home run in the 5th, added another one later. A total of 3 RBIs on the day and a curtain call. Tyler Lyons picked up the save with 3 scoreless innings, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And the Cardinals had a 6-0 win in Game 1 of the doubleheader. And along with Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is here as well. Welcome to game number 2. It is never easy to sweep a doubleheader.
No, that's been around since doubleheaders began. It's tough to win 2, but it's easy to lose 2. And the Cardinals are hopeful that's the fate of the Brewers tonight.
And it's Marco Gonzalez, the young lefty, who gets the call this evening.
You may remember Marco. He's not a hard thrower. Maybe 90. He rarely eclipses 90 miles an hour on his fastball, but a real good changeup, particularly devastating to right-handed batters.
Jimmy Nelson, a right-hander, gets the call for the Milwaukee Brewers. Gonzalez, Nelson, Cardinals, Brewers. It was all St. Louis in Game 1. How about game number 2? We're about to find out. Starting lineups, first pitch comes your way next. Back in St. Louis before our first pitch, the Cards and the Brewers on Fox Sports Midwest. You come to the ballpark, you never know what you might see. So in that first game of the doubleheader, first career save for Tyler Lyons. First career multi-home run game for Jose Martinez. He's in the lineup here in game 2. And how about Chad Huffman? Great to see his first major league hit since 2010. Back in the big leagues. That's perseverance. Busch Stadium, the scene. First pitch is coming your way next. It's brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends. By Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Beautiful night for baseball. Game 2 of the doubleheader. The Cards and the Milwaukee Brewers, and tonight it's the return of Marco Gonzalez to the big leagues. Good pitch on the changeup, and a strikeout. There's that changeup that defines him. He carves up Frazier. That's 8 strikeouts for Marco Gonzalez. Marco Gonzalez, the 25-year-old lefty, and you heard in that highlight package, Tim, his best pitch, undoubtedly that very good changeup.
Which means that his control inside to right-handed batters has to be as good as his control outside. And the reason for that, you've got to throw the fastball inside and keep right-handed batters from diving out across the plate and hitting his out pitch. And that's the change low and away to right-handers.
So Gonzalez finishing up his warm-up tosses. Lewis Brinson still looking for his first major league hit. Highly thought of prospect will bat leadoff for Milwaukee. Then Domingo Santana, Jesus Aguilar, then Travis Shaw, Hernan Perez, Manny Pena, the catching duties tonight. Keon Broxton, Orlando Arcia, and the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson. Back in 2014, he threw that changeup almost more than anybody else in baseball. Marco Estrada, David Holmberg, and now Marco Gonzalez on that list. And I'm sure there's some emotions for him coming back from Tommy John surgery, and probably some butterflies too.
Missed the entire 2016 season. 6 starts in the minors this year. 1-3, but that really doesn't matter. Is he prepared to face major league hitters?
He was the Cardinals minor league pitcher of the year in 2014, first round pick, 19th overall just the year before. So he made a rapid rise to the minor leagues to the big leagues. And a fly ball lifted down the right field line and a foul ball. Mentioned during game one, Brinson was picked up from Texas for Jonathan Lucroy, Jeremy Jeffress, and rated as the #2 overall prospect for Milwaukee.
Dan, you and I did his first start. Marco Gonzalez starting on June 25th, 2014 at Coors Field. And he grew up about 90 miles from there in Fort Collins, Colorado.
And his dad is still a scout for the Rockies. That'd be a pretty tough scouting report if you were looking around Major League Baseball and you had to scout your son. By the way, here's how you get to my son.
Let me think about that.
Have to call in sick that day. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
That's that pitch that's very important for him. Ball in off the plate, move the right-handers back, and come back with a changeup.
This year in the Pacific Coast League, batters were hitting just .232 against him. On the outside corner, may have been a little low, but it goes in the favor of Gonzalez. Welcome back to the big leagues with a strikeout.
That's a nice bookend right there on the 0-2 count, in off the plate with a fastball and the changeup low and away. Probably low, but he got the call anyway from Doug Eddings. Pardon me, Dan.
So 1 out, nobody on. Domingo Santana.
That's a couplet that pitchers and catchers love to work on. The one pitch is not designed to get you out, but the next one is.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Good changeup.
I don't know who came up with that line several years ago about a power changeup. If anybody has it, it's Marco Gonzalez. Pretty good breaking ball, but his changeup is his money pitch.
Here's the 0-2. And the changeup again. He's not afraid to throw it at any point in the count, righties or lefties.
See, it messes up hitters' timing. And hitting his timing, waiting and having quick hands, very, very important. And with a guy like Marco Gonzalez, you just can't seem to wait for the ball to get there.
And then he throws a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, appears much harder, can't catch up. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Martinez, Pham, Piscotty, that trio in the outfield. Garcia, Diaz, Wong, Carpenter on the infield, and Eric Fryer. He's done a really nice job. Gets the start tonight in Game 2. It says something, doesn't it, Tim, when you're a backup catcher and you're picking up wins when you're the catcher and making those starts?
Cardinals are 8-2 with Fryer behind the plate. He's done a very good job.
Yadier Molina did not play over the weekend, but did play in Game 1.
That's the toughest job in baseball, a backup catcher. To a perhaps Hall of Famer in Yadier Molina.
Held on to by Fryer, back-to-back strikeouts. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks. 2 up, 2 down with a couple of strikeouts. Jed Jerko not in the starting lineup tonight. Neither is Yadier Molina. 2 mainstays normally night in and night out.
Neither is Dexter Fowler.
Another one. Jesus Aguilar, great power in the minor leagues. The backup to Eric Thames. And the 0-1. Make it 0-2.
Sometimes managers will stack a lineup with left-handed hitters against a guy like Gonzalez, because that takes away his best pitch. His best pitch, the changeup to that left side of the plate. That's the area in which, you know, if he couldn't dot that all the time, you'd have a tough time signing him. Even though he's the first-round pick, but not a hard thrower.
Here's a 1-2. Got him to reach on the changeup. Ground ball to Garcia. And a 1-2-3 inning for Marco Gonzalez. Back in the big leagues here in 2017. Brinson a strikeout. Santana struck out. Aguilar the ground out. Nicely done, Marco Gonzalez. Nelson, who is yet to defeat the Cardinals in his career. Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball, sinker, slider, curve, change. He just wants a win against St. Louis.
Oh my gosh. No wins in 10 games, 9 starts. He's 0-8 as a starter against the Cardinals.
The Cardinals lineup: Carpenter, Pham, and Piscotty. Then Martinez, Wong, and Diaz, Garcia, Fryer, and Marco Gonzalez. Something that we've seen with Marco, he can swing the bat.
I'll tell you, both teams are very, very happy that that sun's gone down.
Oh man.
Cool off just a wee bit.
Tim, there's some broadcasters that are happy too.
You're doing double duty today.
It was a hot afternoon here at Busch Stadium.
You're with Ricky Horton earlier, and I'm on the night shift.
You got it. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Carpenter. RBI double, walk, and run scored in game 1. Some players will tell you, and I don't know if you agree with this, but they'll tell you, if they're honest, it gets to them. They know the numbers against a particular hitter or pitcher or team. There's a drive out to right center, and it gets down. A one-hopper off the wall. Broxton was almost there to make that catch, almost as if he nearly overran it.
Yeah, well, he's that quick in center field, an excellent center fielder, but that ball hit so hard, and it was curling away from Broxton, almost like one of Dan McLaughlin's drives out about 360 yards.
About 380 actually, but whatever. Right down the middle every time. I wish. So leadoff double for Carpenter, and it brings in Pham. Ground ball slowly hit to third, and Shaw makes the play. Carpenter stays put. The Kia in the driver's seat. Carpenter, great numbers. Piscotty, Wong, all against Jimmy Nelson. We'll see if that carries over to this ball game tonight.
And Jimmy, a big guy, 250 pounds, 6'6" on the mound. Looks like he would be able to throw a lot harder than he does, but around 93, 94.
There is a base hit into right. Carpenter got a late break. He's held up at third. Runners at the corners for the Cardinals. Dobbs, Tire Auto Centers around the horn. Brinson in left, Broxton in center, Santana in right. Shaw, Arcia, Perez, Aguilar. Along the infield, Manny Pena is behind the plate.
I was initially saying I thought Matt Carpenter should have taken off, but you know what happened? The second baseman, Hernan Perez, was between the ball and Carpenter. So it's understandable that he had to wait for the line drive to get to right field. If, on the other hand, it's to the right of the second baseman, then he has a good view and he knows whether to have a good jump or not. But that's an understandable play. You say, well, he should have been trying to score, but you think about it, it's a tough play for a base runner.
Here's Jose Martinez. Take a look at what Tim's talking about here.
Now see, the ball's going to be to the left of the second baseman, Perez. So you've got the guy trying to field the ball between the ball and you. So it's a lot tougher to determine how far he is from the ball. If, on the other hand, the ball is between you and the second baseman, you see it better.
And by the way, that was the 200th career double for Matt Carpenter and his 4th straight game with a double, one shy of his career high. I guess he likes hitting in that leadoff spot. Numbers bear that out. Two balls, one strike. Game one, Ricky was noticing how off balance Martinez was first at bat, and we've seen that as a pinch hitter, but all of a sudden, a couple of foul balls, he started to dial it in, and boy, did he dial it in.
Boy, he hopes he's as off balance as he was in game one with 2 solo home runs. First time ever in a game.
You see he was starting to get it a little bit back, you know, on some of the pitches, how he would take a pitch, and Ricky was right on it. So 2-2 the count. Martinez's first home run went to right center. The next one about halfway up the bleachers and left. Two and two the count. Runners at first and third. Out of play.
You hear that terminology a lot from players, that they're locked in on a pitch. What that really means is not only do you hit mistakes and hit them hard, but you also have enough to stay alive in at bats. Those last 2 pitches were tough pitches and really pitchers' pitches. Martinez staying alive, fouling both of them off.
The 2-2 again. Out of play again. Nice crowd. Busch Stadium filling up for game 2 of this doubleheader. It was a hot one here in game 1. Tickets sold was over 40,000. It will be right around there tonight. In the dirt, kept in front by Pena, and Martinez has worked it full.
3-2 counts changes how the defense thinks. If Mike Matheny were a guy who would send a runner on a 3-2 count, then the infield would cheat in, and on a ball that maybe you don't get a double play on because the runner is running, then you may be tempted to come home with a ground ball. So 3-2 is a different count with runners on at first and third.
Check on Piscotty. Mike Matheny became a grandfather today.
How about that? That's the greatest racket in the world, grandfathering.
You love it, don't you?
Oh, it's the best. Hard to explain, but no doubt about it.
3-2 pitch. Little chopper hit towards short. Out there and safe at first. Run does score, and that makes it 1-0 Cardinals here in the bottom of the first.
Jose smelled an RBI, didn't he?
I don't think Arcia handled that all that smoothly at short, and even if he did handle it cleanly, I'm not sure he gets Martinez.
It's not a double play ball. It's too high a bounder. Plus, Martinez, that was the second baseman, throwing a one hopper to first base. That was intentional too. But Martinez, that ball was outside, and that gave Martinez and Jose a chance to get that break toward first base. So the Cardinals take the lead.
In steps Colton Wong. Went 1 for 4 with an RBI double in the 6th of game number 1. Quietly, things have really calmed down when you talk about Colton Wong. One of the big stories early in the season.
Good way to put it.
Now he's just a mainstay in the lineup and doing his thing.
His defense has been superb all year long. I mean, that play he made the other night on the touch at second base. I mean, he decoyed Matt Carpenter. Carpenter didn't think he had a chance to get to the ball. Carpenter was playing in for the bunt. He had to go back. Couldn't find the bag, and the double play wasn't completed. But Wong made a terrific play. My gosh, you called it an athletic play. It was every bit of that.
Oh yeah, made a great play today, twice going up the middle. He's got very good range, gets to a lot of balls. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Colton Wong. More teams are starting to shift on Wong. That's been the last week or so, putting 3 on the right side of the infield. But to his credit, I think he's been going the other way a little bit more.
Well, some pitchers and some teams are throwing him a lot of breaking balls. So he's more apt to pull the ball with the breaking ball. And that's why you got 3 guys on the right side. That's his biggest nemesis right now, is a curveball.
That time he got the fastball, swung through it, and a strikeout. 1-0 Cardinals after 1 inning of play. Let's check in with Jimmy.
Pretty special moment in Game 1 for Chad Huffman, whose pinch hit triple was his first major league hit since back in 2010. Making it even better, his boyhood friend and college teammate Matt Carpenter, who talked him out of quitting baseball 2 years ago, drove him in. Huffman said Carpenter sat down next to him in the dugout shortly after and said, "That was cool, but it wouldn't have been as cool if I didn't drive you in." Huffman told me it was a really special moment for both of us. Now, Huffman knows his time in the big leagues may be limited. He told me, "All I want is to cash in on every opportunity I get to try to help this team win." These are great guys, Dan.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. It's a story in perseverance. We hear about these stories every year. Somebody like this comes to the forefront, and you never get sick of hearing about them.
No, you don't. Very, very nice.
Hernan Perez batting .275, 9 home runs, and he's driven in 29. .1-0 pitch. Popped into right field. Few steps in, Piscotty, and he makes the catch. 2 away. That's 5 up and 5 down for Marco Gonzalez as we take a look at our Toyota keys to the game.
Brewers on the road, 5th in runs scored. The Cardinals at home. That's after the first game today. In the National League, they are ranked 3rd at home. Brewers on the road, I beg your pardon. Brewers playing very well on the road this year. Their offense, I'll tell you, these guys can club, man.
Question for them will be, do they have enough starting pitching, which is a question for a lot of clubs.
Sure.
But also trying to shore up their bullpen too. Here's a 1-0. Good changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Usually a pitcher like Marco Gonzalez is better the first time through the order because everything is new to the offense. But they go to school, and the second time through is a lot tougher, generally speaking.
He's got kind of an interesting delivery. I talked to him in spring training about this. Takes a little step back, then gets settled, squared. Right there, settles, then delivers. Line out to third. Garcia positioned perfectly. Good start for Marco Gonzalez. 6 up, 6 down, 1-0 midway through 2. For your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Cardinals.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th. Only on Fox. A look at the All-Star Game balloting and the fan vote currently. A couple of Cubs on there. 3 Nationals: Buster Posey, Zach Cozart, and Charlie Blackmon.
How about the year Zach Cozart's had?
Great.
Oh my gosh.
And under the radar, but he deserves to be voted in.
Absolutely.
Aledmys Diaz with a fly ball out to left in the corner with room, and the catch is made by Brenson.
Jimmy Nelson pitched for Mississippi State. Talking about somebody under the radar. How about that program down there? Mississippi State in Starkville, Mississippi. They have turned out some great players playing the major leagues.
He's from Ole Miss. Mississippi State. I think of Rafael Palmeiro. I think Will Clark.
Yes, sir.
Great players. And it's year after year. They've always been one of the top teams in the SEC.
As a matter of fact, Minnesota drafted Brent Rooker, an outfielder, 35th today in that. After 30 players, there's that type
sandwich
type
or supplemental
sandwich supplemental. I've never quite understood that, and I'm explaining it like I don't understand it. I might have.
I get it though.
Well, that's because I can use hand gestures to you, but I can't to our viewing audience. But anyway, we talked about grandfathering the last inning and what a great racket that is. Well, the grandfather of Brent Rooker is a guy named Ralph Tipton. He's from Memphis. We competed together, not as grandfathers, but he's the grandfather of Brent Rooker, and we played against each other in high school throughout in Memphis. Brent's from Memphis.
That's great.
But I know that's a long, drawn-out kind of who cares story.
Well, I bet his grandpa is probably a Cardinal fan and watching right now. He's pretty pleased.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's very, very proud of Brent Rooker, I'll tell you.
The Cardinals had their first pick of the 2017 draft today, and they went with Scott Hurst, 3rd round, 94th overall, out of Cal State Fullerton, an outfielder. Randy Flores is now running the drafts for the Cardinals, a world champion of the 06 team.
Number 1 draft choice was Royce Lewis, also drafted by the Minnesota Twins. He's from San Juan Capistrano. High schooler.
Most would tell you that the baseball draft, as opposed to the NFL, hockey, NBA, that the baseball draft is really, it's tougher than the other ones to have a sure thing. There is no sure thing, but
yeah, that's an interesting point.
Especially when you go the high school route. I mean, you think about it, you did it. I mean, you went from high school to professional baseball.
It was done in those days, back in the late 50s, a lot more than it's done today.
And it's tough. I mean, 18 years old, in your case 17, you've never been away from home. You're with grown men. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. Eric Fryer puts it in play out to shallow right, backing up Perez, called off by Santana. So we had a picture of Rick Horton when he was drafted. How about my partner? There he is.
Oh, frightening.
St. Louis, 1959. And oh, you had no idea then, Mr. McCarver, what was in store for you.
You've heard of that movie, The Bride of Frankenstein? That's the brother of Frankenstein.
Give yourself some credit, man.
Yeah, but those ear flaps, oh my gosh. Runs in my family, I've told you that. They don't make headphones big enough for me.
A strike to Marco Gonzalez. Now, one thing we've seen, Marco can swing the bat. He was a two-way player at Gonzaga in college and a very good hitter.
3 for 10 with a couple of doubles in his brief stints in the major leagues.
I'm telling you, he can hit.
He can hit.
A base hit into right.
Waino and Yachty are very happy. Gonzalez getting in the swing of things, so to speak.
So runners at first and second, and 2 outs for the batter, Matt Carpenter. So the Brewers will take their shortstop Arcia and put him the outfield grass into shallow right.
Why do they do that? He's the infielder, the middle infielder with the strongest arm. So if he has to go to his right or his left, make a difficult play, he's more apt to do it than the second baseman.
And yet not all teams do that.
No, I know that.
But I agree with you, and I think what you're explaining is, it's exactly right. Better range from a shortstop. Now, I've heard that some teams feel that a shortstop does not get a better jump on a ball or read on a ball going to that side of the infield that a second baseman will.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Well,
not that it's not true,
yeah,
but I didn't mean to jump you, partner.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm just reporting the facts here, man.
Sorry, brother. My brother.
The strike to Carpenter. I had something that was sent to me that I need to find that was a great line from your buddy Ralph Kiner. I got to find that in between innings, and I will find it.
Okay. Well, he had a lot of them. He's the one who said home run hitters drive Cadillacs and other hitters drive other cars.
Here's a 1-1 in the dirt.
And he was a home run hitter. Led the National League in home runs 7 years in a row.
When it was not easy to hit home runs, right?
He could. The one thing his son Mike at the services, which was a celebration in Palm Springs, he said he could never beat his wife in tennis. They were married for 16 years. She was a national champion. Ralph was a terrific athlete, great tennis player.
The 2-1. Carpenter drives it into right center. This will bring in another run. Marco Gonzalez on his way to third, and that makes it a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Carpenter 2 for 2.
That is almost the exact spot that Carpenter hit his double. Now, it didn't have the carry, and Broxton, the center fielder, leaning a little bit toward right center field. Almost the same pitch, same swing, same result, except Matt has an RBI and not a double. So anyway, Nancy Shaffey is Ralph Kiner's wife, and finally, this one day, he finally beats his wife in tennis. Finally. And Mike said, Mike was Ralph Kiner's oldest son. He said, 2 weeks later, I was born. So the only time that he could beat his wife in tennis was when she was 8.5 months pregnant.
It's great.
What a loving story that was. Just wonderful.
Here's Tommy Pham. And there's strike one. So the Cardinals get an RBI from Martinez in the first. And a 2-out base hit by Carpenter here in the second. 2-0 our score. Pham, a bouncer to third. Shaw across the diamond. The Cardinals strand 2, but they pick up another run after 2. 2-0 St. Louis. home run and strikeout in this game, raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $2.6 million have been raised in the challenge. And you can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. A great worthy cause.
Jose Martinez has to be mighty proud. 2 home runs in game 1, adding to Michael Milken's fund. Done a world of good for prostate cancer. Smart people, great organization.
Marco taking his time. A hot night, a muggy night, not nearly as hot though as this afternoon. And after he came off the bases, Mike Matheny, I think he told him, hey man, you may want to go down the steps, where if you've been here like we have, you walk down those steps right there, you actually can cool off a little bit. It is a huge cooling unit blowing in on the guys in the dugout.
That's a good pickup, Dan, and I think you're exactly right. There's that cold, frigid air that blows in from that tunnel, and that gives you a lift.
Sometimes just a little bit can help you out.
Sure.
So we're off to the third. 6 up, 6 down for Marco Gonzalez. Here's Keon Broxton. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the playing time with a guy like Broxton now that Brenson is here. You're going to call up a top prospect. You're going to play him, and it's going to come at someone's expense. Now VR is hurt. We saw Broxton not play in game number 1.
That could do amazing things for a 224 average. Fear is a good thing, you know, for baseball players. There are a lot of managers, you know, in the olden days, 50 or so years ago, guys like Leo DeRocher, they would play guys on that fear aspect.
1-2 is hit out to deep left center field off the bat of Broxton, and it's gone just over the top of the wall, and Broxton has his 8th home run of the year.
Well, sometimes when you come inside hopeful to go away later, you get burned, and you've got to accept that. Again, that was not a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Marco Gonzalez trying to come inside to Broxton. Ball stayed down. That down and in, just dropped the bat head on it. 92 miles an hour. I didn't think it was that hard. Marco was attempting to go back outside later with that changeup.
RCM, Diaz, 1 away. It's a good example there of what they've tried to get Aledmys Diaz to do a little bit more of. Not stay back on a ball, even if it's harder hit like that one is. Still charge it, get your momentum going forward.
Yeah, and Aledmys has made some statements saying that he needs to be quicker with his first step at shortstop, and he has been, to his credit, much better than last year.
Well, the last time that you and I were paired together, Chris Maloney was still here. Bill Miller was not dealing with some personal issues. There's been some major changes with the coaching staff, and Mike Schilt, now the third base coach, directing the outfield of the Cardinals. You're not going to fire the players, but you may do something with the coaches to try to shake things up, and that's what the Cardinals have done. Mark Budaska there, Pop Warner on the right. One-two pitch put in play by Nelson to second. 2 down. Cardinals were coming off one of the ugliest road trips they've had in recent memory. That was a tough one.
Vicious. And to their credit, they've rebounded and won 4 in a row after losing 7 in a row.
Sometimes it's not only the losses, the manner in which you lose those games.
Well, it didn't seem like any lead was safe during that road trip. And that proved to be the case.
Boy, did it ever. Lewis Brinson struck out his first time up. Today he's 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Here's the 0-1. It's a lineup that does not feature Ryan Braun. He's been nursing a sore calf and on the disabled list. It's a big bat not in their lineup.
Oh boy. And a great outfielder too, with a strong throwing arm, and he knows how to play the outfield. Always hits the cutoff man.
0-2 pitch, slowly hit. Garcia do or die, and that'll be a base hit.
I think Greg had a little more time than he thought because Brinson slipped coming out of the box. May not have had to barehand that ball, but he knows the speed. Watch the slip right there.
And that'll be the first major league hit for Lewis Brinson. Young man can fly. Already has a stolen base. He had a couple of walks in his major league debut over the weekend. Did steal his first major league base. Domingo Santana. Something else we picked up with Marco Gonzalez in a brief time. Very good at holding runners on. Good move to first. Hit up the middle. Colton Wong takes it himself and steps on the bag. Solo home run for Keon Broxton, his 8th of the year, RBI number 18. And the Brewers get on the board. It's now a 2-1 game. Cardinals get 9 hits tonight. You're invited into Krispy Kreme tomorrow. Receive a dozen of their original glazed donuts for only $3.99. Stop by one of the 5 St. Louis area Krispy Kreme locations or the locations in Bloomington or Springfield, Illinois for this sensational deal. 3, 4, and 5 for the Cardinals. Home run by Broxton. It's 2-1 bottom of the 3rd. Piscotty first time up, a base hit to right. And he's 1 for 1. Did not play in game 1. Was used as a pinch hitter and then struck out, so did not start, but did pinch hit. And the first pitch hit to third. Travis Shaw. And there's one away. We're back in game number 1. If you missed it, Jose Martinez with a drive into right center. The first of 2 home runs he hit on the day. 2 solo shots, 3 RBIs, a curtain call. Jose Martinez.
That might be his first curtain call in the major leagues.
Second.
When was it?
First was opening night against the Cubs.
Nice going, partner.
Because I was thinking the same thing. I started thinking, well, I thought he had one, and he did. He had that one, and maybe one other one with a home run late in a game as a pinch hitter.
One-upped again by Danny Mack.
No, sir. Kubota Power Stats, multi-home run games for the Cardinals.
Cardinals beating John Lester on opening night. Became an ESPN game, and then the Cubs won a couple. And about that, what were you telling me before the game? If the Cardinals win tonight,
they're
the second game, half game. I mean, come on.
Now, to put it in perspective even further, if the Cardinals win this game, there will be no team that in the Central Division will find themselves tomorrow morning above 500. The Brewers would be at even 500, but nobody above it.
Wow.
The 2-1 pitch. It's tight in the Central Division.
Even the Pirates in last place, 3.5 back.
John Mozeliak, in holding that press conference here at the ballpark on Friday before game 1 against the Phillies, essentially said everybody's on notice, including myself. Jobs are on the line, and the next 4 to 6 weeks will basically dictate what we're going to do. And I'm telling you what, if there's no one running away with the division, it may complicate what you're thinking you may want to do. Do you go for it? Do you say, well, we're not good enough, we know we're not good enough, maybe we are good enough, and we do? I mean, it's a tight race. What do you do?
Complicated, and it changes all the time.
Exactly. The second walk issued by Jimmy Nelson. The batter is Colton Wong. Yeah, to Curt Flood and Stan the man right in front of him.
Stan the man.
Breaking ball and a strike.
Curt passed away in either 97 or 98, and Bob Gibson and I were both up at the bat, the baseball alumni foundation, and did a ton of things. And Spike Lee asked to interview us, and he said, what was an example of Curt Flood's humor? I said, here's an example of Curt Flood's humor. We used to play catch on doubleheader days. Every Sunday was a doubleheader. Monday was an off day back in the day. And Curt and I would go out. Well, one day, forget the day, in 1963, between games of the doubleheader, Curt and I used to warm up. Well, this one day we couldn't do it. And the reason we couldn't do it is the Southern University band was on the field. And I'm telling you, I have never seen athletes as good as them.
They're unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Dancing, doing splits with tubas and stuff. I mean, you know, it's just unbelievable. And Curt was 2 feet from me because we were waiting to go out and loosen up. And he said, I know what you're thinking, Tim, but forget about it. They're from the old country. And it was just put in Curt Flood's way of putting things. He was so unique and such a funny man.
And a longtime roommate of Bob Gibson's.
That's right. I've never talked to Spike Lee prior to that or since then.
And a strike to Diaz. Curt now is enshrined in the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and Well, many believe he should be in baseball's Hall of Fame too.
I'm one of them. It's easy as a former teammate, but when you think of what he started, the way the game is looked at, viewed financially now, he and Marvin Miller, it's just a crying shame for those two not to be in the baseball's Hall of Fame.
And Bob was saying in our evening with you two a few weeks ago, he said, in addition to what he's meant to the game financially for the players, he said, I mean, just as a player, he's the best I've ever seen in center field outside of Willie Mays.
Of catching a fly ball.
That's right.
He couldn't do the other things Willie could, but catching a fly ball.
But in terms of his accolades as a player, in his mind, he should be in the Hall of Fame. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and 3 tonight for Jimmy Nelson. It's 2-1. The men this season with Tommy John surgery. Talked to him over the weekend. He says in 2 to 3 weeks, picks up a baseball, starts to throw. And with more on that, Jim, I know you had the chance to visit with him as well.
Yeah, he had his Tommy John on February 16th. He told me at the time he wasn't sure what the future held for him. Flash forward 6 months, and Reyes is in a much better place. In fact, as he told you, he told us, he said he's set to start throwing in 3 to 4 weeks. We had Reyes on the pregame show. He told me, I've never been happier knowing that I can start throwing again. It's very exciting. For the time being, Reyes continues his strength program and working with the trainers. And Dan, he told me there is a benefit to watching from the sidelines. He told me, I'm learning a lot by watching my teammates. I absorb everything.
Jim, am I to gather from that there are different types of Tommy Johns? You know what I mean? Some are tough operations, some are not so tough, because it seems like Reyes is coming back a lot sooner than most pitchers do.
Yeah, but he's just going to start light tossing. I mean, this isn't a serious throwing program, but for him, a guy who was wondering if he was ever going to throw again because he didn't know so much about Tommy John, that's a big victory. So he's looking at that 4-week period where he can start doing some of the things he used to do, and he knows it's still a long road back for him.
Here's Aguiar at the plate. This will be interesting here to watch Marco Gonzalez go through the second time through this lineup. We're in the 4th inning, something you mentioned earlier. 3-2 pitch. I would say this, the Cardinals, and I've talked to some people around the front office that said while there was talk that he would have been in the rotation, that would not have been the case, and that Reyes would have started out in the Cardinals bullpen. Now you think about trying to get to inning 8 or 9 with the Cardinals this year, and that has been a tough combination to find. Once you get to 8 or 9, it's been fine. That's out to deep left. Aguilar has tied the game. It's 2-2. Mentioned this earlier too. This young man has got big power. That's a long home run, and it's tied at 2.
Aguilar led the International League last year. Only 26 years old. Big time power. At 30 home runs, driving in 92 last year for Columbus. That ball almost in the same spot as the ball Broxton hit. At down and in. Catchers don't catch those often.
So we're tied 2-2. Couple of solo home runs, Broxton and Aguilar. Here's Travis Shaw, grounded out to second, first time up. Fastball taken high. You can find in just about every major league game tonight someone that has had Tommy John surgery that'll come in and pitch. Middle relief, closer, starters.
26% of major league pitchers. That's everybody pitching in the major leagues. 1 out of 4 has had some form of Tommy John surgery in their lifetimes.
And that's well hit out to deep right field. At the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Back-to-back solo home runs, and the Brewers go on top for the first time. Shaw with his 11th home run. Chevy Fox tracks.
Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and you could see immediately Gonzalez dropped that head after Shaw dropped the head. That's what the players say when a guy hits a home run.
Hernan Perez at the plate, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. To third, Garcia. So commonplace in the game today. Tommy John surgery. BJC Healthcare difference maker. Nearly 1,400 documented Tommy John since 1974. Nearly 26% of the active pitchers have had the procedure at some point. That's amazing. 57% from 07 to 11 have been performed on the kids that are only 15 to 19 years of age.
And you'd think those 15 to 19-year-olds only have that operation if they think they have a chance to pitch in the major leagues.
Sure. Manny Pena at the plate.
You know, the one thing that is rarely talked about when a pitcher gives up 3 solo home runs, here we are in the 4th inning, is how a catcher shares in the grief. It's never talked about. But there is at least some of it that you think, oh my gosh.
Well, it's getting worse than for Fryer. That's off the wall. Pena to second. They may have a play. Throw is in time as Wong tried to put down a quick tag, and it's a double for Manny Pena.
That's to thank Colton Wong. Thought that Pena was farther away than he was, but he had a chance to make the catch, but he tried to catch it and slap it at the same time. Really a good play by Martinez on the carom. And the throw, a bit of an in-between hop. Tough play for Wong, and couldn't get the tag down.
If he does, he's probably out.
But you know what I'm saying, Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's one of the hardest things to get over as a catcher is sharing in the guilt of having home runs hit against a guy who's 60 feet 6 inches away. It's tough to shake. It's like missing a block if you're a guard and having your fullback stacked up 3 yards for a loss instead of 7 yards for a gain.
When you think about it, Eric Fryer's probably been talking since last night with Marco Gonzalez about this start. What do we want to do? Here's the scouting report. Here's how we're going to attack Keon Broxton.
Yep.
And then it unfolds and it doesn't happen the way you thought. Yeah, you take a little bit of that personal responsibility.
Sure.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Broxton. 3-0.
Catching the only position where you can take an 0 for 4 and still get a lot of satisfaction out of the game if your pitcher did well.
.30 pitch. Turned him loose. John Brebbia had a scoreless 6th inning for the Cardinals in game 1. Up and throwing here and getting ready for game 2. I thought Ricky made a really interesting point of what we were talking about between games, and you were here and getting ready for the night game, and Ricky was getting ready to race to his car to find a suit. But before all that, how a pitcher gets ready for game 2. Is it easier to say, hey, you only have 30-40 minutes between games? And that's well hit out to deep left field. Martinez back, and that's off the wall. Gets away from him. A run will score. Broxton racing to third. So that's 2 balls off the wall, 2 over the wall in this inning alone.
5 extra base hits in this game so far for the Brewers. They have 6 hits, 3 home runs, a triple, a double, and a 4-2 lead. And one of the great statements that I ever heard about pitching is that the opposing hitters will tell you how well you're throwing.
Just to finish the thought, but we were talking about a reliever getting ready for game 2 of a doubleheader, and if he pitched in game 1, the soreness, is it there? What lingers? And that's going to be it for Marco Gonzalez. So Brebbia will come in. It's our Chevy call to the pen. 15 and younger entering with a ticket. Get their very own exclusive Fredbird bobblehead. Head to cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. Well, we talked about it. We thought first time through could be a lot different than the second time through. We weren't sure, but that certainly is the case in this ball game tonight. So John Brevia with one out and a runner at third. Probably looking at just a 2-out appearance if he can get him and then regroup. 7th appearance and has done a nice job.
And Mike Matheny obviously has been forced to bring the infield in. I think it's a situation here. You've got a 2-run lead. If you're the Brewers with the pitcher on deck, you try to score on a ground ball, go on contact. Otherwise, you wait for the pitcher to come up and drive in a run with 2 outs. That happens rarely.
Orlando Arcia, a bunt attempt, and back at third goes Broxton.
That was
a strike one.
Interesting play for Garcia, because Garcia had to come in for the bunt and then go back for the pickoff throw. Watch. In for the bunt, back for, that's a tough play.
And the 0-1 pitch. Pitch out, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Garcia, very good bunter, very good ball player. Might take a step or 2 more in if you're Matt Carpenter at first base.
Here he comes down the line. That pitch taken low and outside, 2-1. Especially with a guy like Broxton and his speed at third.
Right.
Highest percentage of times on base scoring a run in the National League this year. Broxton with his speed, second to only Billy Hamilton, the speedster of the Reds. And the 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Arcia, by the way, was the #1 prospect for the Brewers prior to this year. Came up briefly the tail end of last season. The 2-2 pitch by Brevia. Ground ball left side. Garcia, play at the plate, low throw, safe.
Well, that's that speed you were talking about, Dan. And Broxton running as we predicted with the pitcher on deck. The pitcher will be the hitter now, and he'll be sacrificing. Well, what a jump Broxton had off third base. Why you bring the infield in, but the throw in the dirt, good play by Fryer, but could not cope with that in between hop thrown by Greg Garcia. Clearly safe.
Home plate umpire Doug Eddings, the crew chief, went over towards Mike Matheny just to make sure. Are you going to challenge or not? No challenge, and it's a 5-2 Milwaukee lead.
No, he was clearly safe.
Agreed. So Jimmy Nelson grounded out to second, first time up. Runner at first is Arcia. Bunted in the air, and a play for Fryer. Out number 2.
That's the old-fashioned way during sacrifice situations. Throw it up and in. And that's what Nelson had to deal with. I'll tell you, it's terrifying when you square up against guys like that. That ball up and in. Pitchers don't like that. There is an innate fear of pitchers when they square around against their counterparts.
Carlos Martinez had that situation on Sunday afternoon.
Well, that was terrifying, wasn't it?
He told me it was split second. He said his reaction was actually to put his hands up in front of his face because it was coming directly, I mean, square in the jaw of the face, and barely got his bat to at least foul it away, and it was a very scary situation. 0-1 the count on Lewis Brinson. Infield hit and a strikeout. So this is Sunday, squared to bunt. Watch this.
Oh.
He told me, Tim, it did hit his fingers there. He said it looked a lot worse on video. He had seen it afterwards, but it just glanced off the fingertips. It didn't
of the throwing hand.
Yeah, it didn't pinch the fingers into the bat. So very lucky. And time is called. Granted late. Close the book on Marco Gonzalez. Gives up 6 hits, 5 of which went for extra bases. 3 1/3, 5 runs, a couple of strikeouts, no walks, and 2 homers.
Good job of Brebbia making Arcia wait at first base. That's perhaps the best way to upset a base runner's timing, is just make him wait. And that in itself slows him down.
Oh-2 pitch. There's that slider taken low and away. The Cubs in Gotham tonight. New York City, they're in the top of the 7th, and it's 11-1 Chicago. Pittsburgh a 3-1 lead against Colorado. Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball, throw to second, and save.
Eric Fryer did all he could. Good throw, quick release. But Arcia just had too good a jump. Tough pitch to handle by Eric. A lot of times that determines whether a catcher throws out a runner or not. He deserved that stolen base.
So he puts himself in scoring position. 2 outs, runner at second, 2-2 the count. Out of play. Brewers a season ago 4th in the National League Central. They went 73-89. Greg Console, 3rd year as their manager, signed a 3-year extension, keeps him in Milwaukee through 2020. Milwaukee native. The 2-2 pitch. And a strikeout. Tough inning for the Cardinals. A couple of solo home runs, double, triple, adds up to a 5-2 Milwaukee lead. At Jack in the Box, come try the sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger combo for only $4.99. Limited time only. And by your local St. Louis area Volkswagen dealers. 5-2 our score. Bottom of the fourth rolls in. Game 2 of the doubleheader. And now time for the unlimited baseball break, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Yankees have won 6 straight. They lead the East by 4 games. They're in Anaheim tonight. Nationals lost 4 straight. Still lead the division by 8.5, but looking for help in their pen. Aaron Judge has been.
I was just thinking of him.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's the MVP in the American League if the season ends today.
I would agree.
.68", 285 pounds.
He's got 22 home runs, which would have been tied for the team lead in homers a year ago for the Yankees. And Matt Holliday has been a nice addition to that club.
Yes, he has. Of course, in that ballpark, I think all Cardinal fans kind of had an idea that Matt Holliday's got that Yankee Stadium type of power at his waning years. I'm not meaning that as a criticism by any means. But who wouldn't want to go to Yankee Stadium where the ball just flies out?
2-2 the count on Garcia. Started third base in game 2 of this doubleheader. Played shortstop in game 1. And the 2-2 pitch to Greg. The Cardinals still are searching for that middle of the lineup type presence. Now Jerko's had a very good year. Holliday had the reputation and the presence of having done it year after year after year.
He gave him certainly credibility to that lineup.
Sure.
No doubt about that.
3-2 is a base hit into center. Garcia on base for the second time. Choose from Classic Coke, Wild Cherry, and Blue Raspberry. Stay cool this summer with new frozen drinks at McDonald's. Brett Cecil is getting loose in the Cardinals pen. It's Fryer here, and then Chad Huffman at the on deck circle. Fryer fly to right first time up. Chevy Fox tracks. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's 0-2. I would think Washington would be a club that would be very active at the trade deadline, trying to find any late inning help.
Now, you know what? I think it's premature. I agree with that, particularly for their bullpen. But as you said, there's so many things that could change between now and over the next month, 5 weeks. I think anybody who has a chance is going to be active. I think the Yankees are going to be active for another starter.
Well, I'll give you a reason more so, in my opinion, for Washington.
All right.
And that's a timetable that you have Bryce Harper in your lineup, which is the remainder of this year and next year. And then he's probably gone as a free agent. So
unless
while
he signs with Washington.
Unless he does. But I would think he's going to hit the open market, and who knows what happens at that point. But my point being on this would be is that
they only have another year and a half.
Exactly. 11 blown saves this year for Washington already.
Oh yeah, I mean they're leaking in the bullpen, no question. Two balls and two strikes. I mean, he's kind of a
Not kind of. He is a once-in-a-generation type player in Bryce Harper. In this day and age of baseball, and if you have him, he's putting up an MVP type season again. You may have him for a year and a half. Then that window closes as he goes. And not to say that they won't be competitive, but you take him out of the lineup, it's not the same team. Double play ball hit to short. 6-4-3 on the double play. The State Farm double play. Arcia Perez, the turn over to Aguilar. State Farm double play. Bryce Harper, by the way, 6 months younger than Aaron Judge.
Yeah, Judge has got another 4 or 5 years before he can test the market.
So Huffman will pinch hit for Brebbia. And he singles out to left. A triple in game 1 and a single here in game 2.
Got a 2-game hitting streak.
I like it.
Yes, sir. Knock in the first, a triple as a pinch hitter. And a single on the first pitch right here off Jimmy Nelson.
Here's Carpenter, a double to right center. Run scored back in the first. RBI single in the second. First time that Huffman has had games back-to-back with base hits in his career.
I think Nelson will go to the breaking ball. He has not had any luck with Carpenter with that fastball. So you get strike one with a fastball, and then I think he's going to try to finish him off with a breaking ball. Matt, a very good eye. Got to go to school with what you did the first 2 times up.
And a high fly ball lifted into right, backing up Domingo Santana in front of the track and makes the catch. So the Cardinals strand a runner. We played 4, and you're watching Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Top of 5, game 2 of the doubleheader. And the Cardinals have their third pitcher in. Brett Cecil for St. Louis. They will get 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Santana, Aguilar, and Shaw. First pitch, a ground ball that's hit to short. Diaz, low throw, and a nice play, and picked by Carpenter.
You can see Diaz popping that glove. He's mad at himself, and he should be. That was a careless play. Lackadaisical. And sometimes when you make a play like that, you kick yourself, and that's what he was doing.
A Chevy call to the pen, and you hope a teammate picks you up, and that's what Carpenter did too.
That's exactly what he did.
Well, no other way to put it. It's been a rough season here for Brett Cecil, year 1 of his 4-year contract. But that's so important. Strike one for him and for anybody, but especially Cecil, as you get a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. As he falls behind, hitters don't chase out of the zone. Good changeup.
I think that the main thing is, the main reason for concern is his inability to get left-handers out.
Sure. Aguilar with a home run and a ground out. Back to Cecil. Steps and throws. Out number 2. So 4 pitches, 2 outs for Cecil.
Good play.
So 2 down, and it brings in Travis Shaw. Solo home run back in the 4th.
Thing about it is, this game's only a 3-run game, and you're
Exactly.
in the 5th inning. I mean, Cardinals peck away, and scored 6 runs in game 1. They can certainly do that again.
And Tim, it's a bullpen for the Brewers, depending on which direction they go. But there's not a lot of middle ground with their bullpen. They're either really bad or really good.
Yeah.
And the reason I was saying about Cecil in particular, strike one so important, you just don't see hitters chase what is his good pitch, which is a slider or breaking ball that starts out middle outer half and getting hitters to chase like that.
It's a good inning for him.
And a fly ball to left, and Martinez puts it away. A 7-pitch inning for Brett Cecil. 5-2 Milwaukee. Hills just outside Milwaukee, the 117th edition of that great tournament Fox FS1, Fox Sports Go to check out and watch the U.S. Open. It'll be Tommy Pham, Stephen Piscotty, and Jose Martinez. This is the inning in game one that the Cardinals finally got things going against the Brewers. First game of the doubleheader.
Didn't have a hit until then, right?
Didn't have a hit until the fourth, and then the first run was in the fifth, and that was the home run by Martinez. Here's a 1-0. And Pham is hit by the pitch. Here it is. If you missed it, maybe you're at work, maybe you're at the pool, you're playing a little golf. This is when the Cardinals got it going. Jose Martinez, home run, and Chad Huffman, this triple. His first hit since 2010. Matt Carpenter would drive him in with this double. Fowler muscled one into right. And the Cardinals were rolling.
Talked about, you know, there are careless throws by infielders, outfielders, and pitchers, and that was a careless hit by pitch the last time up by Jimmy Nelson. He's never beaten the Cardinals. 0-8 lifetime. Some of that's got to be passing through his mind right now.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, there's certain guys that get you, you get them, and certain teams that get you, and that's the case here with Jimmy Nelson.
Not only that, he led the majors in hit by pitches last year with 17. It's only his third this year. But still, a careless to lead off an inning. Go ahead with a 3-run lead and to hit a batter. It's careless.
1 ball, 1 strike on Piscotty. A base hit to right, also grounded out to third. High chopper towards second. Out there, double play. Boy, that's a nifty double play turned by Perez.
Good on both ends. Perez to Arcia, and Arcia throwing off the wrong leg. He threw off his right foot instead of setting himself. Well, this is a dandy right here.
Key to that play is not going for the runner, but going to the bag.
Yeah, right. Good point.
So here's Martinez now with 2 outs, 5-2 our score. And there's strike 1. Walked his last time up back in the third. Strike 2. Brinson in left, very deep. Santana fairly shallow in right. One ball and 2 strikes. Jose was saying in his post-game interview that his mom is here, and she got a chance to see him knock 2 home runs out in the first game of this doubleheader, but strikes out here. Strikeout number 4 for Jimmy Nelson. We head to the 6th, and it's 5-2 Milwaukee. Midwest is brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, a century of innovation.
I always get a kick out of the kiss cam here in the 6th inning.
Well, I love the fact that you're able to tell just how far that relationship may go.
Yeah,
marriage, maybe a breakup, whatever.
Yeah. And occasionally we'll say it'll never last, things like that.
Cecil spinning and out. No, they're going to say he's safe.
Well, I think they may review this. Don't you?
Absolutely.
He looked out to me. Good bunt. Was Cecil falling off toward the third base side? Pivots? I don't know.
So the Cardinals do not challenge. It's a base hit for Perez.
No, he was safe.
Really nice play there by Cecil. Manny Pena, this is Cecil's second inning of work. Why not? He got 3 outs on 7 pitches. That was back in inning number 5. And a ball inside. Marco Gonzalez, 3 1/3 in his return to the big leagues. 5 runs on 6 hits. Struck out 2, gave up a pair of home runs. Brebbia, 2/3 of scoreless baseball, and now Brett Cecil. And the check on the runner. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Picked him off. Carpenter to second. And there's your first out.
Brett Cecil. That was a dandy, backing up one pickoff throw with another. He got the ball to Carpenter in a hurry. And it's very important for Matt to go toward the pitcher's mound to clear the lane. And the throw gets Perez. Good play.
1 ball and 1 strike. It seemed like for Brett Cecil, a play like that earlier this year, something would have gone wrong. Carpenter hits the runner, ball goes into right field, whatever.
Right. Karam's into shallow center.
Right.
Runner goes to third.
Nothing went right for him earlier this year. 1-2 the count.
And what you try to do from a mental standpoint, you try to make good. You try to be perfect. And that's the worst thing that you could do. As we all know, baseball a game of failure, not a game of perfection.
Here's a 1-2. Just got a piece to stay alive. Cardinals will face Matt Garza tomorrow. Brewers making the announcement to go with Garza here in Game 3 tomorrow night. Here's a 1-2 pitch.
Gino.
Jonathan Broxton waits on deck, and he is a guy who is not only 2 for 2, but those 2 hits, the toughest hits to get for a cycle. A home run and a triple.
A solo shot for Keon back in the 3rd, and also the double, or rather triple, off the wall. And that was in left field, so 2 for 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cardinals at this point watching Cecil. They want to see not just an outing like tonight, maybe get 2 innings under his belt, but build on it, but be consistent. Then another one and another one and another one.
Right.
There have been times where you said, okay, that's the outing he's going to build on. It's going to be better. Then he gets into a more pressurized spot, if you will, and the wheels come off. And then you feel like, I'm sure Mike feels like he's back to square one. 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Little quick pitch there, too. First strikeout for Cecil.
Had he been working from the stretch, he might have been called for a balk on that. But you could do that with nobody on. That ball right on the inside corner, and I think you're right, partner. That was a little quickie pitchy poo.
Oh, yeah. That's chapter 22 in George Kissel's Cardinals Way. The quick pitchy coup.
I can hear George now. Yeah. For all of you folks who may not know it, Dan McLaughlin is the master of voices of other people. Oh, yes, you are. You're hilarious. You break me up. You know you do, so quit it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you are. That's the best John Miller impersonation ever. And Vin Scully.
You told me you think Vin was upset with me last year.
I did. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes, I did. I thought Vin was. I think he. The problem with that, when you do announcers in the next booth, they might be thinking it's me. So well, I'm going. Wait a minute, that's not me. I feel I can't go over and tattle on you. That was Dan. It wasn't me.
Vin showed up in the doorway, and I pointed. It's him. It's Tim. I know you guys are really close. It's Tim.
It was great though. Fun.
I miss listening to Vin Scully.
I do too. I miss his voice.
Yep.
And what a wonderful man too, in every way.
You know, he was at the ballpark when we were there.
Oh, he was.
He snuck in.
I didn't know that.
And didn't let anybody see him.
Really?
Yep. Had dinner with some of the guys and then snuck out.
Just kind of came for the press room, you mean? That's great. I didn't know that.
They say he comes, you know, maybe once a homestand. Says hello. Three-two pitch to Keon Broxton, and he struck him out. Nice work by Brett Cecil. 2 scoreless innings. 5-2 midway through 6. Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest, and the American Red Cross Blood Drive. All you have to do is use the Blood Donor app or visit redcrossblood.org and enter sponsor code CARDS. So the Cardinals trailing by the score of 5-2. Brett Cecil, first appearance of 2 innings. Since August of 2014. Here's Colton Wong. He's over 2 with a pair of strikeouts. One ball and 1 strike. Jimmy Nelson has walked 2 in this game. He's given up 6 hits, struck out 4. Cardinals jumped out to a 2-0 lead, now trail 5-2.
And home run by the Brewers in the 3rd inning. The first run the Brewers have scored all day. Took them 12 innings to get on the board.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Popped up and out of play off the screen.
That's the one thing I would never do from a hitter's standpoint, is give the catcher his mask.
What if you were the catcher?
I don't expect anybody to hand me my mask. I'll get it myself. Thank you. I used to hate that.
Really?
Only reason he's doing it is so I won't flip him. And in those days, you flip guys at will. You don't do that anymore.
Wong lines it into center field for a base hit.
It's a pet peeve. I can't help it.
You can't help it. It's a pet peeve. That's the way it's going to be.
It's the way it's going to be. Doesn't make sense, but sorry, that's the way I feel. I don't like it. For hitters, especially when you're trailing by 3 runs, you stand down, pick up the mask for the catcher. I mean, what's wrong with him? He's a catcher to begin with. I mean, he can't squat down and get his mask.
I'll tell you what a nice gesture by Colton. Here's Diaz. Slowly hit. He may beat this out. It's another infield hit for Ledmus Diaz. And with that, the tying run will come to the plate.
Well, I didn't think Travis Shaw would even throw that ball.
There's no reason to.
No. Too much to do and too little time. Now the Cardinals with something going with 2 on and nobody out.
But you just get the feeling after Colton handed that catcher's mask, the good vibes coming the Cardinals' way.
That is just disgusting.
Just feel it happening. Anyway, so the first 2 have reached, and the batter will be Greg Garcia. They have 1 lefty now, Josh Hader, in their bullpen. Man, he's getting loose. Garcia bunting and a foul ball. Ooh. The Cardinals catch a break.
I agree with that. The ball looked fair. Of course, your catcher can't know whether it's fair or foul because he's concentrating on the ball. And now the umpire everybody's getting in the act. We'll have fans. Give the catcher his mask tonight before long. No, it looked foul. It's close.
Sure is. How about you? I'd rather see Garcia swing the bat.
When you're trailing by 3, it's still the 6th inning. He was not bunting for a sacrifice there. He's bunting for a base hit, but I'm inclined to agree with you.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. 0-2. You seen the movie Gran Torino? Clint Eastwood?
Yes, I did.
You'd love that movie.
Well,
it's right up your alley.
I've seen it.
Watch
You
it
asked
again.
me if I saw it. I said I saw it. You
Watch
said
it
you'd
again.
love that movie.
Here's the 0-2. Instead of check on the runners.
You have a left-handed batter up there. You have Wong on at second base and Jimmy Nelson with the 3-run lead. And he's turning, looking towards second. I think we're getting a lot of meaningful gestures from both sides in this inning.
That's it out of play. Here's the 0-2. It out of play. Oh, this is perfect. This inning, to have this happen with you up here in the booth, it couldn't be any better.
A meeting on the mound. Rather biblical, don't you think, Dan?
I love it.
If baseball did away with all visits to the mound, not one fan would call in to protest. Not one.
In the air down the left field line near the seats and out of play.
I mean, I kind of saying that in jest, but you know, I do think you have to think of the fans when you think of rule changes and things to speed up the game.
Well, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, these changes that are being made, it is with the idea of the fan first and foremost.
Absolutely. Just cannot understand how baseball continues to allow that to happen, and I think that should be the #1 thing stopped in this great game this winter.
0-2 the count on Garcia. This big crowd ready to erupt.
Feisty at bats, doesn't he?
Regardless of what happens here, that's what he does. Hit by pitches, walks, grinds through the at bat. 6 pitches here in this particular at bat. And he's hit by the pitch. The second man that Nelson has hit. And no surprise, Greg Garcia, dirty uniform, hit by a pitch.
After fouling off about 6 balls. Actually, it was not that many. There were 7. That was a 7-pitch at bat. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was double figures.
So Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, coming out to visit. Eric Fryer will be the batter, and Dexter Fowler has moved to the on-deck circle.
I mean, all of a sudden the Cardinals are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, how many times do you say, well, that's a great at bat? Guy draws a walk or he gets that kind of base hit. You normally don't say that when you're hit by a pitch, but that was a great at bat by
really
Greg Garcia.
was. No question.
Wong, a 2-strike base hit to center. Infield hit by Diaz, and then Garcia hit by a pitch. The good vibes of Colton Wong handing that mask back. My goodness. And a strike to Fryer. Tim has left the booth in disgust.
We'll deal with that matter later.
Here's the 0-1. Now 0-2. Well, you have the lefty getting loose. If Fowler is announced, more than likely you'd bring him in and turn him around to the other side of the plate. Inside. 1-2 the count. Fryer tonight. Flied out to right field. Bounced into a double play. Hit to short. Out at second. The turn and the pick at first. A double play. Run does score, and that makes it a 5-3 lead.
Well, if you're a Cardinal fan, you're thinking anything but a double play ball, even a strikeout. But Milwaukee got the double play ball. They still have, the Cardinals that is, man on at third with 2 outs now. That's, I'll tell you, that is a nifty double play combination these guys have around the Keystone sack.
So runner at third, now 2 outs, and here's Dexter Fowler.
No RBI, of course. Double play with the bases loaded and nobody out. No RBI is given.
Breaking ball drops in for a strike. Fowler has been really good in this spot. Pinch hitter. He's been one of the better pinch hitters for the Cardinals this year. Sunday had the 3-run homer. That came in inning number 5 and trying to come through here in the 6th tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked to be a pretty good pitch. And it was. One lifted in the air out to left. Fowler comes through again. A 2-out RBI base hit. Diaz scores, and that makes it 5-4.
And a slider up and in, and Dexter just fought it off the other way, and that plates the 4th run of the game. That's going to be it for Nelson.
Pinch hitting 4 for 6 this year, Dexter Fowler. Hader, the lefty, coming on when we come back. pitcher. Well, this is how you start a rally. There's no question about it. You got to hand the mask.
Oh, man.
See, even the guys in the truck are all over you, Tim.
Well, I don't care.
Somehow I knew that. Oh, yeah, even the umpire in the act. Then the 7th pitch at bat by Ray Garcia, hit by a pitch. It was a double play off the bat of Fire that scored a run. And then Dexter Fowler, 4 for 6 now as a pinch hitter, driving in Diaz. So he represents, Fowler does, the tying run, and the go-ahead run comes to the plate.
Matt Carpenter facing a different pitcher, Josh Hader, as Dan said, the only left-hander in the bullpen. Also goes to that Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets style of styling your hair.
Does he ever?
Yeah. Only difference is he's a left-hander, but he looks like deGrom, doesn't he?
Sure does. Tall, lanky with the hair.
Yeah.
Reading his bio, he was also a extra in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Here's the 0-1. Runner goes. That's Fowler. Throw to second and out.
Boy, what a throw by Pena. That was a breaking ball. It takes longer to get to him. And that throw and that tag right on the money. Or did he miss him?
And we'll come your way at 6:30. Matt Garza will go for Milwaukee. He's 2-2, league 5-5, but in the top 5 in ERA.
Hey, we have looked at this several times. Second base umpire Corey Blazer made the call. I think he's expressing that. Did Arcia tag Dexter Fowler? You know what, Dan? He may have gotten him on the glove.
That's the only place
sticking
I
out of the
think that
left.
he did.
Yeah, sticking out of the left pocket. That's a first for us this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, it wouldn't have surprised me at all if Mike Matheny would have challenged, because that's the tying run at second base.
Yeah,
You're getting late in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a why not?
Yeah.
Really. May have caught him by surprise.
That's one of those plays that in New York they can enlarge it, and you know, the high definition screen, maybe even more so than what we're showing and what you're seeing at home. But however, why not take that chance?
Last time and only time we were in New York, you went to that place.
It was interesting.
I bet it was.
It really was.
Yeah.
Arcia on the first pitch by Kevin Segras, grounds out to short. There's one away. something that's been talked about. We've mentioned it too on the broadcast, but those that haven't heard about it, after the All-Star break, umpires are at least mulling over the idea, like they do in football, like they do in hockey, of wearing a microphone and explaining what they're looking at, and then coming on after the ruling and explain why the call was made one way or another. And I think that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
It is the crew chief, Doug Eddings, who did not work game one, the hot day game. That was Laz Diaz. Here is Nick Franklin. And a strike. Switch hitter, pinch hitting.
You know, that was a big out, that first out. If Arcia gets on, then you leave the left-handed pitcher in to bunt him over. And then he has a chance to pitch against Matt Carpenter.
And Franklin lifts a fly ball into left center field. There's Tommy Pham. Friday, June 23rd, Cardinals and Pirates. 30,000 fans, 16 and older, take home a Cardinals pullover courtesy of Monsanto. Head to cardinals.com/promotions. I think it's also big too, Tim, is that, as we talked about, that's their only lefty, and the Cardinals have Jed Jerko and Yadier Molina still on the bench.
That's exactly right. Okay, now you've got Matt Carpenter to lead off the seventh in a one-run ball game, you hope, if you're a Cardinal fan.
Brinson with a fly ball into right. Quick work for Kevin Segrist. 4 pitches. Thank you very much. Time to stretch. Game 2. It's a good one. 5-4. Presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Really like that read. It's soothing. Gets you into baseball or put you to sleep. Cardinals player hits a home run this inning. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Tim, wake up. It's the bottom of the 7th.
I'm wide awake. Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Falling asleep in a baseball game?
Come on, the disclaimer read will do that to you.
I don't mind disclaimers.
Well, you made a valid point. Here it is, the right-hander now to face Carpenter, and this could be a big difference maker potentially in the game.
Well, you don't know, but I mean, now all of a sudden we got a one-run ball game, and instead of a 3-run lead, Cardinals scoring 2 in the bottom of the 6th.
Jared Hughes pitched in game 1. 2 balls and no strikes. This is our Chevy call to the pen. 28th appearance. The ERA just under 4. (3-0). This may be more of what Ricky was talking about, trying to bounce back. Game 2 of the doubleheader.
Yeah, sure.
You never know.
Ricky being a pitcher of long standing also. Good hitting situation right here for Carpenter. Get a 3-1 inside fastball on the inside part of the plate. Try to launch.
And a 3-1 pitch to the Cardinal leadoff man. Carpenter launches it out to deep right. It is gone. This game is tied. Lefty righty matchup, and it goes the Cardinals' way. Nice call, partner.
I'll tell you, if you're the Cardinals, you realize you're playing with house money right now. I mean, Nelson ends up hitting a batter. He hit 2 tonight, matching his season total thus far. Cardinals score a run after a double play ground ball by Eric Fryer. A lot of times, how many times we see that runner stranded at third? But I mean, the Cardinals winning game 1, come back to tie this game. Sometimes you just gotta smell the blood.
The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri, thanks to Matt Carpenter.
And you know, little things are big things in baseball. Instead of facing Josh Hader, he ends up facing a right-hander who gets in a 3-1 count and pops one.
406 feet, the home run for Carpenter, number 12. He's now a triple away from the cycle. His second run scored. His second RBI of the night, too. And he's up to 35. 2-2 the count on Tommy Pham. A strikeout of Tommy Pham. Go back to the home run moments ago. Matt Carpenter has tied this game up at 5.
You look inside the middle, cheating a little bit. That ball just off the middle of the plate, a little bit away. And the last time anybody saw it, it was in the Cardinal bullpen.
Look at those eyes, how wide they are.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens on 3-1 counts. Batting practice.
Here's Steven Piscotty.
I mean, and I'm serious about that, Dan. You know, when you know what you're going to get as a major league hitter, and if you don't get it, it's okay. You don't swing. That's how a lot of major league hitters make a lot of money in this game.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a ground ball that's fair to third. Travis Shaw, long throw. And there's 2 down. But I think it's a valid point, Tim, that Segrist gets the first out with the pitcher, Hader on deck. And you're not sure if you would let a reliever bunt in that spot.
No,
but
you don't.
But you never know.
You don't know. But why waste a pinch hitter when you can use a pitcher? I mean, that's out there.
But we do know that once the out was made, no need to have him hit or bunt or do anything. He sits.
Right. Segrist had a 4-pitch inning and may go back out there, but now I'm looking out, and I guess that's Trevor Rosenthal. But Segrist with 4 pitches, I mean, who's to say he can't go back out there?
Sure. And if you're going into extra innings, you may want that arm in the 10th or 11th.
Yes, sir. Dealing with a tie game right now.
Oh, 2 on Martinez. It's Chad Huffman there on the left. His high school, little league, and college buddy, Matt Carpenter. Jim had a nice visit with Chad on our pregame show. who's loving being back in the big leagues. So 2 outs, nobody on, nothing in 2 the count here on Martinez. Picked up an RBI back in the first. He has walked and also struck out. And he strikes out here. Well, the Cardinals, though, do damage. The lefty was out, righty was in, Carpenter was up, ball was gone, and we're tied. Now you're caught up. It's 5-5 as we head to the 8th. Night. St. Louis jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Then it was 5-2. Cardinals have come back and tied it up at 5. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. He can be so dominant. That's Trevor Rosenthal.
No question about that. But so can Kevin Segrist when he comes in and throws 4 pitches and gets out of the 7th inning. It's a reasonable conclusion to at least think that it's not impossible for him to come back out, have another easy inning, and then have Rosenthal and O both available in case the game goes to extra innings.
And where you get concerned is that Tyler Lyons, who would be that quote-unquote long man, if you will, to give you multiple innings. Well, you already used him for 3 in game 1.
He got his first major league save in that process. So he'd be the last guy you'd use, Sam Tuivailala, and then of course thinking about a tie game going into extra innings.
Cardinals were able to add Tuivailala, the 26th man Major League Baseball allows with a doubleheader.
Domingo,
99.
Excuse me, Dan. Domingo Santiago knows Trevor Rosenthal very well. On the 13th of April last year, he had a 2-run homer to win the game for the Brewers, 6-4.
Three and 2 the count. 124 fastballs have been at 100 or better this season, first in the big leagues.
It's got to be across the plate, though.
And there's a leadoff walk. So leadoff walk here in the 8th, and now it's Aguilar. And Santana, pretty good speed at first.
Don't even think about a bunt.
No, sir.
I mean, if anything, you'd think about sending Santana, but I think with the big guy up there, you're going to let the next two guys hit without any running from first base.
And a swing and a miss for strike one. The 0-1. Aguilar with a solo home run back in the 4th inning. He's grounded out to 3rd and grounded back to the pitcher. Here's a 1-1. Taken high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and two. Plaza Tire Service, Fox Tracks.
If you're Trevor Rosenthal and Eric Fryer puts down anything other than a fastball, you shake him off. Those are 4 pitches leading up to this 2-2 count. Dictates that pitch.
A little bit low, 3-2. Now, do you think if you're Craig Counsell, would you even think about starting the runner?
I wouldn't. Too much of a swing and miss opportunity here. He might, though.
Not running, and it's hit out of play.
Like a lot of guys who throw as hard as Trevor Rosenthal, he's a lot easier to hit when the ball's down in the strike zone. It's like Aroldis Chapman, same way. That is not the case with most pitchers.
The 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Back-to-back walks. Want a great deal on tickets? Fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more now until September 25th. Receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Well, if anybody can get out of this type of jam with swing and miss stuff, it's Trevor Rosenthal.
There's no question about that. You're exactly right.
He's created, though, quite a jam here. Sometimes the Cardinals, when they see him, especially when he gets up in the zone, mechanically Derek Lilliquist will pick up that he's just rushing a bit, and that has been an issue, especially last year. Not so much this year. They think his mechanics are about as solid as they have been. We shall see. Travis Shaw with a solo home run, and again a pitch up.
The more you fall behind, the more you are prey of the hitter because they start looking for that fastball. You have to throw it. Becomes less effective that way.
2-0. And with that, I would think they've got to get somebody up and throwing. 10 balls out of the 15 pitches.
Looks like Matt Bowman. No, that's 0. Send 1-0 up and throwing.
The 2-0 pitch. Ooh, a high strike, and it goes the way of the Cardinals.
What a break for the Cardinals. That ball was up.
The 2-1 pitch. Great play by Fryer.
It really was. Another fastball blocked, and that's a one pitch that catchers do not anticipate in the dirt. Breaking ball, you go down with it. Fastball, you're kind of hoodwinked by it.
Wow, that's a good play.
That's a great play by Eric Fryer. Otherwise, Santana's on at third base.
3-1 pitch. Hit the other way, slicing and foul. Three-two pitch, hit into center field. Pham on one hop gets it, throws to the plate, and the Brewers go back on top. It's now 6-5. Shaw, his second RBI.
All sorts of things. I mean, the Cardinals see the game is not tied anymore. It's a one-run ball game. But both Aguilar and Shaw should have moved up. The throw is so high. Not fast base runners, but you don't need to be fast when the throw does not come anywhere near the cutoff man.
Right-hander Jacob Barnes starts to throw in the Milwaukee pen.
That's 3-3-2 counts too,
yep.
Right? But to Santana, Aguilar, and Shaw.
Hernan Perez bunted his way on back in the sixth and then was picked off by Brett Cecil.
You know, Dan, when you think about it, if only Trevor Rosenthal could face himself, he would find out how tough his stuff is. Maybe they'll have a futuristic machine for that sometime in the future.
And I think what you're saying is you've got good stuff. Throw strikes.
Throw strikes. Use the middle of the plate till 0-2 and 1-2.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2.
Got the call, and it was a strike.
2-2 the count. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. And Perez takes a ball. So again, a full count.
4 in a row.
Up the middle, off of Rosenthal into center field. Pham will get it back in, and the bases will be loaded and nobody out now for the Brewers. So 2 walks, 2 singles. Let's see if Mike Matheny goes to Seung-Hwan Oh.
It's like a double switch. Whenever a major league manager in this situation walks right to the home plate umpire, a double switch is in the works.
So Sungwano will come into the ball game. Bases will be loaded. And nobody out. Is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, Jed Jerko is part of a double switch. He has never played the outfield in his major league career, not to our knowledge in our research, and he's part of the double switch.
It's a lot tougher to go to the infield if you're an outfielder, to go to the infield, because the ball is on top of you a lot quicker than it is in the outfield. The outfield does allow you the grace of allowing the ball to get to you to where you can pick it up a lot quicker.
And this indeed is the first outfield appearance for Jed Jerko. Manny Pena at the plate. And O's first pitch is hit in the air, but out of play.
Pena not a fast runner, and the Cardinals with the infield in do have a chance on a ball hit directly at an infielder or back to O to turn a double play.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The inning started with a tie game 5-5. Walk of Santana and Aguilar back to back. Base hit RBI by Shaw to center. Base hit to center by Perez. And the base is loaded and nobody out. Here's a 1-1. Good pitch in on his hands. 1-2. One forced in 35 opportunities concerning the double plays. Ooh, just missed. It was a 3rd career appearance for Trevor Rosenthal, in which he faced 4 more batters without recording it out. Last was a year ago against these Milwaukee Brewers. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into right, charging in to Scotty, and he lets it drop.
I don't think that's the right play there. You have no speed on at third base. So if you're Stephen Piscotty and you were thinking that, and it appeared that he pulled up, but you have no speed at third base. He's in foul territory. He's not that far away.
Only thing I can think of, Tim, is that he felt maybe he'd have to slide for it, which in that case he's not going to get the runner more than likely.
Well, that's true. Okay.
Could be it.
I'll buy that.
2-2. Into center field, base hit. 1 run is in. And the bases will remain loaded. 7-5 Milwaukee.
Maybe on that fly ball in foul territory, Stephen Piscotty was, his hamstring was about to give way also, and the slide may have caused that. So this, meanwhile, a great at bat by the Milwaukee catcher, Pena. So a 2-run game now, still nobody out.
So Keon Broxton infield in, bases remain loaded, and still nobody out. And a strike. One ball and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count. So 5 batters in this inning. Back-to-back walks. 3 singles in a row. The 2-1. 3-1. These are the guys that you try to get the ball to late in games. Rosenthal and O, and they have not recorded an out yet.
It's so uncharacteristic of O to fall behind. You've seen it several times from Trevor Rosenthal, or more than that.
And a fly ball out to left. Jed Jerko makes the catch. Throw goes into third. How about an assist? No, missed the tag, and Perez is safe.
Yeah, that throw up the line between third and second. But Diaz, as Greg Garcia had gone out for the throw, and Diaz made the tag. Or Garcia is the cutoff man. That's right, in case Jerko wanted to come home. But the throw, a good throw to third base, just a little bit up the line, and Diaz missed the tag.
So runners at the corners, 8-5 our score. And the batter is Arcia.
Now, if the Cardinals were playing Joe Madden and the Chicago Cubs, you know what would happen here. Safety squeeze.
No question. They're thinking the same thing.
With Eric Fryer with the pitch out.
Fouled back. One and two the count, 1 out, runners at first and third. And the next by O.
tell you, these Brewer hitters are about as adept at fouling off tough pitches as any team we've seen this year, Dan. It's the first time I've covered a Brewer game this year, but
tough to put away.
They're tough to put away. They really are. It's better put.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Carpenter with the catch. So 2 outs, runners at first and third. The pinch hitter will be Eric Thames. So this is your first look in person at Thames too, and he is quite the story.
He really is. A great start, 16 home runs, among the leaders in the National League.
So 2 outs, runners at first and third. Well, you bring up a great point, and it's backed up by the stats. The Brewers are second in pitches per plate appearance, 3.92. So that furthers your point.
They don't swing it through a lot of pitches with 2 strikes. Even though last year they set an all-time record for strikeouts as a team, and they're ahead this year.
Right.
And last year.
They had some teams, and I mean these guys, it was strikeout after strikeout. Jose Hernandez, Richie Sexson.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Fly ball into left. Jerko is near the line, and it's a 44 pitch inning combined with Rosenthal and O. Brewers back on top. It's 8-5. And stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Midwest and Cardinals baseball with you wherever you go. Chevy call to the pen as Jacob Barnes wears number 50. He's been very solid this year. Already his 34th appearance. Right-handers only hitting .211 against him. And it'll be Cole Wong to lead it off. Ten hits aside in an 8-5 lead. Milwaukee trailing 2-0, then led 5-2. Cardinals tied it up 5-5, and now back to a 3-run lead. Kolten Wong started a rally for the Cardinals back in the 6th. Kolten Wong may start a rally here in the bottom of the 8th. He's 2 for 4.
Remember, the Cardinals on a double switch put Jed Jerko on that 9-hole, so he's the 5th hitter in this inning. And one of the better long ball threats for St. Louis, something to keep in mind.
There's a Ledmus Diaz, has flied out to left and also struck out. Infield hit, run scored back in the 6th. Kolten Wong now has 14 hits this year against Milwaukee. He has hit them incredibly well.
Kolten cannot use his speed with the Cardinals down by 3 runs. You have to more or less play base to base.
And Diaz, a high fly ball into shallow center. Keon Broxton with the catch, and that's the first out. Here's Greg Garcia, then Fryer. And then, as Tim mentioned, that'll be Jerko's spot as part of the double switch in the 9th spot in the Cardinals lineup. Our crowd tonight, 40,115, 40115. What was a good crowd when you were playing? What would be a pretty good crowd?
Oh gosh, 30,000. Well, it depends on what park. I mean, we played at Busch Stadium at Grand and Dodier.
Sure.
And that only held about 34,000.
So if you had 30, it looked like a packed night.
If we had 25. But by no means going over 3 million continually in those days.
Gosh, we just take for granted 40,000 every night.
Yeah, every single night. That's something the Cardinals don't take for granted.
No, sir.
Great fans in this city.
Wong reads it, advances to second base. I give Joe Strom and Dan Farrell so much credit. They try and look at the trends in the game, what's going to bring people out to the ballpark outside of winning baseball, and
absolutely
the giveaways. And do you have a comment? You're a color analyst. You're supposed to comment on these things.
Less is more.
Well put. The rally mask is out. The 1-2. Forget about the rally caps. We've got the rally mask. That's how it got going in the 6th inning. Kolten Wong handed the mask to Manny Pena, and then we saw the umpire do it. And Tim loved it. And a ground ball. It's supposed to be an error on the second baseman coming up with the rally mask, but apparently that's worn off. So get out your rally caps. Brings in Fryer.
Now somehow Eric can get on base and get Jed Jerko. We would have that scenario we were talking about several hitters ago. Jerko representing the tying run.
Fryer with a fly ball, and it's out of play. When the Cardinals won the World Series 1964, the season attendance was 1,143,000.
That was playing in that the ballpark over at Grand and Dotier. 310 down the line, 354 to right center, 410 to straightaway center, and 340 to left.
Fouled back. First full season in Busch Stadium 2. That was 1967. First full year.
Right.
And it was just over 2 million the season attendance that year.
A lot of that was because the brand new stadium and the arch was going in downtown.
The Cardinals trending towards 3.4 million. They've already sold over 3 million tickets this year. Fryer trying to get on and let Jerko have a crack at it. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And a strikeout. So Jacob Barnes, a scoreless bottom of the 8th, sends us to the 9th here in game 2 of the doubleheader. And Sam Tuivailala is in for the Cardinals. Up and down here for Sam. Closer down in Memphis. And the 26th man in the doubleheader for the Cardinals tonight. Before it's all said and done, Tuivailala could play a major role in that bullpen for the Cardinals. And we're talking about trying to get to the 8th and the 9th, and this could be one of the guys that, if it all comes together consistently,
meaning his
key.
Breaking ball,
exactly, could be one of those pitchers that can get you middle innings relief and be consistent in that role.
You got a lot more confidence in that breaking ball right now, and something that has not been there in the past.
And he's always had that, the good fastball. Gone away from the cutter, using that curveball and fastball combination primarily. 1 ball, 1 strike on Keon Broxton. There it is right there. 2-1.
Confidence is something you can't see, but you can see the results of confidence. With Trevor Rosenthal, you saw a man who's not confident on the mound tonight. And right now you're seeing a guy who is confident. It's a strange thing, boy. The mind plays weird things with all of us.
Every manager, win or lose, after a game, you know they're replaying the game in their mind, probably till 2 or 3 in the morning, right? I mean, that's just the nature of the game.
Of course.
The nature of the sport. The ground ball that's hit to second. And you just wonder, Broxton was getting down the line, if Mike Matheny would think about again extending Kevin Segrist, and what was the thought process behind not doing so after just a 4-pitch inning.
Sure. It's just a reasonable thing to bring up. I mean, if you have a lead, I think things change. You know, then it would be more feasible to bring in Rosenthal and O.
Right.
But again, that was after a 7th inning in which Kevin Segrist threw 4 pitches.
Game that was started tonight by Marco Gonzalez. We've seen Brebbia, Cecil, Segrist, Rosenthal, O, and now Sam Tuivailala. Also goes back to the importance of Tyler Lyons in game 1 to give you 3 innings to allow Mike Matheny to go to his bullpen as much as he has.
That's right.
I misspoke. I said that was Broxton that grounded out. That was Lewis Brinson. And here is Domingo Santana. And it was crazy. I had 2 perfect games too until that mistake. I had a perfect game going for broadcasters. A lot of people were tuned in worldwide.
Yeah.
Chance to see history.
I can testify to that.
Base hit out to left. Take a look at our Nissan drives of the game. From Broxton, Aguilar, Shaw, all went deep. And they did that early on in this game. Cardinals a 2-0 lead, then trailed 5-2, tied it up 5-5, and Milwaukee with the 8-5 lead. Aguilar, the solo home run in the 4th and a walk in the 8th. Looking forward to the start tomorrow night. Mike Leake. Boy, has he been good this year.
Certainly has. What's he, 4th in earned run average now?
Yeah, top 5. There's Mike. He'll go against the Brewers tomorrow night. Matt Garza for Milwaukee. 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0 the count on Aguilar. Outfield is deep and straight away. Good fastball at 96.
Seems like the Milwaukee Brewers specialize in big first basemen that like to hit home runs or strike out. I'm referring to Chris Carter, who's now at the Yankees. He's built exactly like Aguilar.
Sure is. Prince Fielder had a fairly big body too.
Yeah, oh yes, he did. course, he's a left-handed batter.
That's right.
Chris and Jesus are both right-handed, of course.
Kept in front by Fryer.
Normally you're not crossed up if there's nobody on second base, but it appeared from the reaction of Eric Fryer, the catcher, that he was crossed up.
It's the kind you catch with the wrist, not the glove.
Yeah, that.
You've been there.
Yes, I have. Sorry to say. Deplorable position. Tough job.
A little bit low, and it's a walk. I remember telling you I was partaking in fantasy camp a couple of years ago, and he said, "Oh, that's great, Dan. What position you playing?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing a little catching." And you were upset with me.
I remember that conversation too.
You were really upset.
Yes, I know I was. Why do you do that? Don't do that.
I'm not catching Bob Gibson. I'm catching, you know, Joe from
It doesn't matter.
South County. He throws 45 miles an hour.
Don't do it.
I may have to call our buddy Joe Pfeiffer and sign up. I'm not sure you even like catching first pitches anymore. Gibson gets out there. You thought he was going to put you to the backstop.
That's different. That's a different deal.
I will say Joe from South County got a lot of guys out. He was pretty nasty in fantasy camp. 35-mile-an-hour cutter, 45-mile-an-hour fastball, good sink from gravity. One ball and one strike. And the breaking ball misses.
The most memorable thing about fantasy camp, the line to the trainer's room after the first day.
After the first stretch. They hadn't even played yet. Guys are lined up. Joe, what happened to you? Well, I tried to touch my toes. All right, let's get some ice on it. Did you play catch? No. Swing a bat? I didn't get that far. Tried to touch my toes. Two and two the count. Shaw at the plate with one out. And it's hit out of play. One thing the Cardinals do is they make sure that the alumni is engaged and always welcome to come back. Very important. Our buddy Joe Pfeiffer heading up the alumni, and Larry State, Martin Coco. Sam wants the double player strikeout here. 2 and 2 the count. And a swing and a miss.
That's just some high raw heat right there. Good fastball from Tuivalala and a good spot to get Shaw.
Hernan Perez. Base hit to center. Also a bunt base hit. Flied out to right. Grounded out to third. Two for four tonight. Curveball drops in for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Line to third and handled there by Garcia. We headed to the bottom of the ninth. Jed Jerko leads it off, followed by Carpenter and Pham. It's a 3-run Milwaukee lead. For Milwaukee, Chevy call to the pen. So Knebel will try to get the final 3 outs, and it's a 3-run lead for Milwaukee. Thanks to everyone that's been tuned in since our first pitch at 1:15 today. The pregame show at 12:30. Knebel's been outstanding this year for Milwaukee. So the Cardinals have Jerko and then the top of the lineup, trying to extend what has been a long day of baseball. But in the game of baseball, you get a little rest and you got to come back tomorrow night and be ready to go.
Bounce back, baby.
It's one of the hard cruelties of the sport. Also, in my way of looking at it, one of the beauties of the sport,
yeah,
too.
It really is. Get them tomorrow. Gene Mock told me one time, Gene, I thought was a terrific manager and a great guy. A lot of guys didn't like him playing against him. He said the one remark that I hate in baseball, and I mean he hated it.
Jerko on the first pitch, pops it up. 1 away.
The remark was, let's give him a finish.
He didn't like that.
He hated it because that meant they were trailing in the bottom of the ninth.
Hey, you think about it. That's why.
Right.
Well, Carpenter gave these fans a thrill back in the 7th with a solo home run that tied it up at 5. Cardinals turned it over to Trevor Rosenthal. Struggled in the 8th. And it's an 8-5 lead. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. Brewers trying to earn a split in the doubleheader. And the first pitch is strike.
Corey Knebel, one of the real bright spots in this Milwaukee pitching staff.
No doubt.
Yeah, he can get it up there in a hurry.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. 98 on the gun, 0-2. Make sure you stay tuned. The post-game show with Sarah and Ricky. All the highlights from Game 1 and Game 2. We'll look around baseball. Look at the Cardinals draft as well. 0-2 pitch. And Carpenter gives it a ride again out to deep right. But the catch is made for out number 2. We take a look at our Budweiser player of the game. It's Keon Broxton. Did not start in game 1. And tonight he's 2 for 3. Solo home run, triple, 3 RBIs, and a couple of runs scored.
From a positive note, Dan, I mean, those are 5 great at-bats by Matt Carpenter tonight. He's 3 for 5, a home run, double, run scored, a couple of RBIs, and the 2 outs he made were stump.
Just the triple away from the cycle. So 2 outs, nobody on. Tommy Pham. It's just one of those oddities with Carpenter. He loves hitting in the leadoff spot. And the numbers are there, and it's not a small sample size. He has been better in the leadoff spot. And the 2-0 pitch to Tommy Pham. Hit out of play, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Chopped up the third base line. Tough play. Pham will beat it out. A 2-out infield hit for Tommy Pham.
Tommy jammed with a good ending.
Here's Piscotty. Molina moves to the on-deck circle. Fielder's indifference. Pham takes the bag at second.
You know, with that fielder's indifference, they should deduct that from a pitcher's earned run average too. If, for instance, in this situation, Piscotty gets a base hit.
It's a good point.
I mean, it's a point. That's all.
1-1 the count.
If, because of the score in the 9th inning, a runner goes to second base, is not credited with the stolen base, then that pitcher, if he scores on a base hit, shouldn't be charged with an earned run.
Yeah, that pitcher is saying it's a difference maker to me.
Yeah, I bet it is.
ERA higher or lower, that means dollar signs too.
That's exactly right.
You know, McCarver, you make me think every once in a while, and I never thought about that. I like that. I like that about you. You're going to complete this internship. We're proud of you.
What a country.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Piscotty, trying to extend this game. On the outside corner, and the game comes to a close. A strikeout of Stephen Piscotty, and Milwaukee earns a split as they win game number 2 by the final of 8-5. Long day of baseball comes to a close, but plenty more from Ballpark Village in our studio. The postgame show is next. 8-5 the final.